This is Steve Pilloff from George Mason University. Sometimes we want to find the number of payments with the future value. Specifically, we know the rate, how much the rate we can save at. We know the future value, which is our goal. We know if we have a special amount or if we're special savings at time zero, if we know the amount we're already starting with, already have saved. We know how much we're going to be able to save at regular intervals, and we want to know how many of those payments are we in need to make in order before we reach our goal. And so again, we've got a goal. A common example is we want to retire with a certain amount of money. We know that we can say, let's say $800,000. We know that we can save $1,000 a month. We know that our first contribution will be in 1 month. We may have some money saved or we may not. We want to know how many of those $1,000 monthly contributions will we need to make before we reach our goal of $800,000. And again, financial calculator will be the tool that will be very useful in doing this. So just a reminder that when we're doing with the number of payments, a lot of times the answer that comes across is a fraction, not a whole number. And the way to think about that fraction is that that's the fraction of so you get, well, let's do an example. So you want to retire with Z dollars, and you're going to save X dollars per year. And you can earn a certain rate of return, and you realize that you compute that you're going to need to make 2.3 contributions. A good way to think about it is, we make X, a year later we make X, and now we're almost to our goal, but not quite. So what it's going to take is 0.3x to get us to our goal. And so it's 2 full payments and 0.3 of the third, but the answer is 2.3 because we focus on the number of payments. You can think of it as the number of full payments. So if we're in our calculator, if we give the calculator the future value, so it has the goal. We give it a PV if there's any amount of money that's initially in the account. Remember, that would be negative amount. We give it the PMT, tell it end mode so it knows that contribution starts in one period. You give it the rate, and the calculator will find out how many of those regular payments are needed in order to meet the goal. So, again, this is what we start with. If we hit the goal, no. Okay, so we make our first payment. Are we there? No. So again, also this compounds. Make our first payment. Are we there? No. So now both of these compound. Add another one. Are we there? No. And keep doing that until you get the number of payments where we reach our goal. If we're in begin mode, it's very, very similar. The only difference here is that your first contribution is going to be at time 0. But again, we're going to be solving for n, which is the number of regular fixed cash flows that are needed to meet our goal. So we put that in. They compound. Are we there? No. That. Keep going until we meet our goal. So let's take a look at a few examples. $25,000 for down payment. $1,500 per quarter is how much we can save. First quarterly savings is made immediately. So we make our first, and today in 3 months we make our second. We're going to keep going until we make our last, and then at time end we'll have 25,000. So we put in 1,500. It compounds. Are we there? No. Put in another 1,500. Now both of them will compound. Are we there? I don't think so, but we'll have to figure out how many of these 1,500s we need to put in. So we can earn 1.6%. We have nothing saved. We're going to be putting in 1,500. Our goal is 25,000, and we start immediately, so we're in begin mode. Solve for n, 14.68. 14.68 payments. So we put in a 1,500 today, 1,500 in 3 months. That happens, 14 times. We're almost there. Then 0.68 of a payment, and boom, we've got our 25,000. So the answer, 14.68. Similar, we need 25,000, 1,500 per quarter, but now the first is made in 3 months. Remember, 3 months is 1 quarter. How many will need? 25%, same return as the last example of 1.6. So here in one period we have our first. Then if it compounds, are we there? No. Throw in another 1,500. Are we there? No. Compound it, 1,500. Are we there? No. So how long will that take till we put in our last 1,500 and we hit 25,000? So again, we can earn 1.6%. We've got nothing saved. We're putting in 1,500. Our goal is 25,000. We start in one period, in 3 months, and quarter, and 3 months equals a quarter, and it's 14.89 payments. 14.89 payments. Here's a retirement situation. We have $100,000 saved, and we can earn 10% per year. We want $2 million to retire. We're going to save $5,000 per year with the first savings in a year. So 1 year we'll add $5,000 to our account, and then add $5,000 every year until we put in our $5,000 and we say to the bank, how much do we have? And they say, you have $2 million. So how many of those payments do we need to put in? Well, we can do it in one step in the financial calculator because the million or the 100,000 is there at time 0. So if PV is, and again, notice even though we have 100,000, we have it. So PV is the opposite of that. Or you can think of as if we put in 100, that's a good thing for retirement at time 0. And then every year we're going to put in 5,000. We can earn 10%, and then every year we're putting in 5,000, but the first payment's in 1 year, so we want to be in N mode. Our goal is 2 million. How many of those payments of 5,000 do we need to make? 27.44. Put in 27.44 payments, and we'll retire with $2 million.